Hello everyone, this is Danny and Wanda back on our weekly chat.
And it's Friday night.
It's Friday night again. She got it right this time. What we've got here, we've got a soup going on the wood heater here. It's Mississippi weather. Y'all gonna see this in the video we've got made. It's amazing. Yesterday, we were wearing a t-shirt about to burn up.
Nearly 70 degrees.
Nearly 70 degrees yesterday. Today, the high is 45 and the wind is blowing ferociously. So, if we're going to keep this wood heater going to keep our house warm, our opinion is we need to be using it to cook instead of using electricity. One of the questions was on our predator video is, what do we do with the animals that we catch?
And it's not eating.
We do not eat the animals that we catch. Okay? We do not turn them back loose.
No.
Because if we did, we'd be defeating the purpose of catching them. We do have people that we can call that do eat them. They're more than willing to come out here and get them and take them home for their own purpose. But one of the other things is we do trap. Now, I don't trap for a living. I did years ago, not for a living, I trap for extra money and sell hides and stuff. But on our homestead here, as part of our predator control, we use steel traps, live traps. I mean, if you're going to keep a homestead, you're going to keep chickens and stuff like that, let them free range, it's almost a necessity to do something like that.
Plus the gardening.
Yeah, plus the gardening. I mean,
the coons got into our corn.
The coons eat up our whole corn 2 years in a row. I mean, so we've had to make some adjustments for that kind of stuff. Now, but we've been asked about our cellar that's underground, does it flood? Well, no, it doesn't flood, because when I built it, it has a French drain system below the ground level of the cellar. The cellar is built into a hillside, actually, and it has a French drain system that runs out below the slab of the cellar. And then 3 feet from the top, it has another French drain system that comes out. It catches the first water, and should any get past it, then there's a second one that catches the water at the very bottom to keep it from the ground that we live in. We live on a hill between 2 creeks. We have a creek about a half a mile in front of us and a creek about a half a mile behind us. And the ridge that we live on in between these 2 creeks is we're about 330 to 350 feet above sea level. So we're on one of the highest hills in our entire county. So as far as flooding, we would become an island if the ocean actually came up this far. So that's not an issue to us. The cellar was built with the intent of keeping it dry. It's got a concrete floor in it, so we don't have a dirt floor or anything like that to contend with. One of the other things that we, is every time you see me, it's like I've always got the same clothes on. I mean, it's kind of funny, I guess, but people's wondering.
He does own more than one pair of overalls.
I do have more than one pair of overalls. It's just
he has more than one shirt.
Yeah, more than one shirt. When you look at my closet, it's overalls and a pair of jeans or 2 to wear to church on Sunday or whatever. But this and these shirts, I got several of these shirts like this. This is just what I wear in the wintertime. I'm a plain dresser. I don't want to have to be standing in the closet in the morning looking, going, God, what do I need to wear today?
And I'm learning. I came from being in a city and working every day wearing dress clothes. The first year I was out here, I was wearing my Dockers to pick blueberries, and he was laughing at me because and I wore my flip-flops or my little shoes. He told me I needed to get farm shoes, so I'm learning. Now dresses, mainly flannel shirts.
Yeah, flannel shirts.
Till summertime.
Blue jeans, stuff like that. I mean, it's a homestead.
And he did ask about someone asked about where he gets his
where we get our overalls from. These are roundhouse overalls. It is an American-made overall. It's the one that fits me the best, and I'm not going to say it's the best overall across the board, but it's still an American-made overall. I like them because they're high back in the back. You don't have to worry about the straps falling off your shoulders during the day. They come in 12 ounce and 8 ounce. 12 ounce for the winter time, 8 ounce for the summertime. They're extremely versatile. I can carry them. I have a pad of paper I carry, an ink pen, a pencil you'll always see with me because I'm always writing down stuff. And place for my wallet, knives, got a place to carry my hammer and all that kind of stuff when I'm working. So for me, overalls just make sense. And I have tried, and I'm gonna get asked this question. I have tried the Liberties and the Liberty, the Dickies, the Carhartts. I mean, I've tried all these brands, Lee, and you know, I've wore them all. They just don't work with me due to an accident I had back in 1977 where I had to be put back together again. I know that probably sounds like a $6 million man, but it almost cost that. You know, I had to be literally reconstructed and re-put back together again, and they got one of my shoulders an inch lower than the other one. And because of that, I have to have a high back overall to keep the strap on the right side from falling off my shoulder constantly. So this is the roundhouse. I was just asked what I wear, and that's what I wear.
And on that note, we had one lady ask, because he wears overalls, would we do the American Gothic painting, recreate?
Yes.
We are in the process of that. Our neighbor is a photographer. He's agreed to help us with that. So when we get everything together, we'll put that picture out there of us in a replica of the American Gothic painting.
Yeah, send us your replies on that. Tell us what you think. Do you think that we should take down our carrots in the corner of our ad and do the American Gothic picture there? I mean, because the carrots are bright orange. When people are scrolling down, it's easy to see them. Yeah. It's eye-catching. What do you think? Just send us some messages. Tell us what you think. If we think we ought to do that.
We're going to do the picture anyway and put it up, but we want to know, do you think we should change it, or do you like the carrots staying there where you can find it? You know?
Yeah, just give us a heads up on that. Tell us what you think. One of the questions is asked us on our chicken video of our chicken house. Do we let our chickens free range? Yes. Occasionally what we do is we turn one side loose. The 1-year-olds, we'll let them loose one day and let them forage around in the yard and around the buildings to scratch out and keep everything cleaned up so we don't have to do any weed eating during the year. And then when we do that, we'll close that up. A day or two later, we'll let the 2-year-olds out and we'll let them go. Give things kind of a little bit of time to sprout and come back.
You can hear the wind blowing probably.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear the wind in this video or not, but it's whistling.
The meat chickens are free range all the time.
Yeah, the meat chickens always free range.
The baby pigs you saw, they figured a way out. They get into the yard. We only keep the baby pigs about 6 to 7 weeks.
And we've been asked the question, do we eat our pigs? We butcher about 1 a year. And 1 pig a year will usually suffice us because we don't eat a lot of pork. Most of what we raise, we end up selling because that's what they want. It seems to be a high demand for pigs in this area. So that's what we do, is we raise them. They keep our land, cleaned up, tilled up. They keep the rodents out of the ground, because we had, there for a while, we had a rat issue in the ground. The rats were burrowing holes under our garden. Moles and stuff like that, and they were eating up everything in our garden. But since we've got the pigs, we seem to have eradicated most of the rat issue. We don't seem to have a problem in the garden with them anymore. People have actually asked us to talk about bartering, trading, a little bit about.
He is the top barter in the town. I mean, that's what he does.
That's what I do. But I mean, as country people, a lot of times the question was presented to me that I need to talk about this because people that live in the city don't understand how people in the country can have no money to operate on hardly, but yet they run a farm and they're able to continually accumulate things. Well, first of all, we don't just, or I don't, let me say that, I don't just go to town and buy a new product because I need it. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit an antique place, a farm sale or something like that, and I'm going to be looking for those tools that are used, that can be rebuilt, and are still in really, really good shape, because the fact of the matter is, the tools that our forefathers used were a whole lot better than what we use today. As far as bartering, it's very difficult for me to sit here and explain to you the process of bartering. Bartering is just simply me coming onto your piece of property or you coming onto my piece of property, and I see what you have, you see what I have. If you've got something I need or if I've got something you need, we just come to a mutual agreement. It's not based on how much it's worth as a product. It's what it's worth to you as an individual. If I have something that's worth $100 and my neighbor has something that's worth $50, I'm not afraid of losing that $50 on mine if what he has is what I want. I will actually take the loss because it's what I want. If I need a tool and I don't have it, my neighbor has it, we barter the use of the tool. One of them is my neighbor has a tractor with a front end loader on it. I don't have that luxury right now. And I'm always needing to move dirt and stuff, so I will work for him for free in order to borrow his tractor for a little while to move dirt with. So that's the bartering principle that we use in order to gain things. We don't hardly ever throw away anything. We keep a pile of, we call it a junk pile, on our property, mainly because if we need to build something or something breaks, we can usually always go to that pile and find something in it that we can make work rather than having to go spend money. And that kind of helps get us ahead. Now these farm tools, a lot of the older farm tools are made from cast iron and made from really good steel. I have a cane mill right now. That thing was made in 1902. You know, I'm repouring the bearings in it right now. You'll probably see a video on that before long. It still works. It just doesn't, you can't wear that stuff out as long as you replace the bearings, and they're made to be rebuilt. We're at a point now where we're going into January. The videos are going to be changing a little bit from the dead of winter videos to more of preparing for springtime. So planting, you're going to be seeing us doing some planting, some seed saving, ground preparations, container gardening. These are all things that you're going to see coming up here in the near future. We've got probably 10 videos in the making right now. Food preparation, some cooking,
lots of people
some
are
canning.
asking about cooking, so we're going to do some gluten-free. Most of them will be gluten-free Southern style, because that's the way we cook. The canning this summer. Just
good healthy eating, basically off of the homestead. If we get lucky enough to take a deer, then we grind our own deer meat and stuff like that. So we basically live off the land, and we've been scourged for that. People have talked down to us, talking about, I don't know why y'all won't go get a job somewhere. Why don't you just hold a job? Well, let me explain this just a little bit. I have not fallen prey to the mentality that you have to hold a public job. I did that for 30 years. I've done my time. I understand the concept behind it.
And sometimes you do need a job if you have a mortgage.
Yeah, if you have a mortgage and stuff like that, we don't have any of that because I've done the work and I did not spend my money foolishly. I paid my place off with it rather than going and buying toys and just going out to eat all the time. I didn't do those kind of things. I dumped every dime I had into my homestead till I got it paid for. And once I got it paid for, we still owe taxes. Don't get me wrong. We have to have taxes. We have to have gas to operate with. Diesel for the tractor, things like that.
Power.
Power bills. There's all these things that you do have to have money for. But I don't have to hold a 9-to-5 job 5 days a week to live. I can go out and do a small job, or I can sell some pigs. We can sell some vegetables, and we can survive. Now we may get a cold tomorrow, but if one of us gets a cold tomorrow, since we've been together 3 years, I don't think we've had a cold.
The start of one. I use colloidal silver. Yeah. I used to make it all the time. He's not big on it like I am, but he knows the benefits of it and he uses it when he has to.
For Homestead's about the journey. You never really arrive at being a homesteader because something, somewhere will always be changing. And that's the one thing you can understand on a homestead is it's always changing. Nothing ever stays the same. So that's why it's always, you'll hear me use the phrase, it's a journey. We're going to be, in the near future, I'm going to be talking about a lot of other different subjects. So if you enjoyed the chat today with me and Wanda, then I would appreciate it if you'd like it, share it, and most of all, subscribe and get other people to subscribe so that we can get the word out there. Because I guess this is it. Till the next chat.
Till next Friday night.
Yeah.
I got it.
Till next Friday night. We'll talk to you then.
Let's have some soup.
Let's have some soup.